going on today, guys? Gear Jammer here. Today we're back with a video that I promised once I get certain things taken care of. I've come up with it may stick, it may not stick name for the truck. I've actually named this truck after my youngest niece, Libbie. So, Tabby, show that to Libbie because I named my truck after her. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, well, why don't you name the truck after your daughter? The reason why is because I do not own this truck. I have to give it back in probably 220,000 miles. And that's if I don't get, and that's if I get lucky every time I go on vacation and get to keep my truck. Meaning the shop foreman, well, actually not the shop foreman, meaning I have stuff that needs worked on, and I go in and I tell the shop foreman and let him know that I'm going on vacation, and he'll wait till like 2 days before I come back to work to fix the stuff. So that way it's out of service, and then, you know, I get my truck back. Like he did this past vacation. The second thing was I needed to get the truck washed. And if you saw the slow-mo cinematic that suddenly went fast, which I want to see if I can trim that down to get the sound file out of it. Because it'd be my luck, somebody from Detroit Diesel will watch this and copyright it because of the engine sound on it. And if they did that, I'd be highly pissed. But anyways, you know, I just got her washed, filled the tanks, pulled her out of the fuel island, and did the cinematics. Or the cinematic. I may get another one to put at the end of the truck, end of the video. So that, wow, that's actually really good lighting inside the tunnel. But anyways, you know, I might do another one if I can. Okay, completely black. And I have a jerk that wants to slow down to 50 in front of me. But anyways, on to, you know, stop rambling key. But anyways, you know, it's because I have to give her back, it's like she's not my child, she's one of my nieces or nephews. So it's fitting to name the truck after a niece. If you guys got a better name, as long as it's not Bertha, Betsy, I will never name a truck Betsy, because of the fact of the matter is my 98 Mustang that I had was named Betsy. Hey, video's back. But anyways, you know, and pretty much every other truck except for the previous Freightliner that I had, which was a 2015, and my 2013 Volvo that I had when I was a PTL. Pretty much every truck that I've ever driven, I've called Bertha or Bessie, not Betsy, Bessie, or Big Bitch, because when these things are fully loaded, it is a big bitch. But anyways, on to the truck. She's a 2014 Freightliner Cascadia Evolution. Now, the reason why they put the Evolution on is because of a few minor changes to the truck. This was one of the first trucks that came with a halfway decent automatic. One of the first trucks that had the anti-idle that the driver could override. That was why they did the Evolution, because I override my anti-idle system. There's a temperature sensor on, or an ambient temperature sensor on the driver's side convex mirror poking out the bottom to tell the truck what the temperature is outside. If it's below 65 and above 32, the truck will not idle. So, and it's a headlight plug, so I just sit there, boop, unplug it. I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I actually need my truck to idle. I need the air conditioner, because if the humidity gets over like 30%, I can't breathe. Cons of smoking for years and years and years. On top of that, there is so many different things that the driver is actually able to do from the dash now. Like, if I'm parked, I can adjust my little 1x3 or 4, however long it is. It's a little digital heads-up display that's in the center of my dash, between all my dummy lights. I can go through and I can adjust what gauges I see. Now, I can't adjust, my trip miles per gallon, my trip miles, and my leg mileage. But I can customize whether I see my oil temperature, my turbo pressure, or boost gauge, my voltage, and air pressure. Which, with this truck, there is no point in me having digital air pressure gauges up, because of the fact that, turn that light off, I just noticed it was on. I have 2 analogs on the dash, so I have no need for that. But I can also go into engine diagnostics and some other stuff. And on a non-evolution, or pretty much anything before I know of 2013, because my 2012 that I drove Swift was not an evolution, and I could not adjust anything on the dash. I didn't even have a leg odometer. I just had trip. And it didn't tell me my average fuel mileage either. So, there's a lot of stuff that has gone into these trucks in just a few short years that I've been driving. Things that are, standard with every JB Hunt truck. On Freightliners, it's just regular XM satellite radio, which you guys have never heard me play because I don't want copyright crap. It's got an on-guard, a Meritor, Wabco, or Wabco, or WAB CO crash mitigation system. Pretty much meaning if I'm going to hit somebody, it's going to apply up to 2/3 of my brakes. Maximum pressure, which is whatever's in the tank. So, I typically run around 120 PSI. So, this thing can literally just dump 80 PSI into the brakes instantly. If it senses that I'm going to hit something to lessen the impact. Still, nothing beats good driver reflexes and good defensive driving. Like keeping us within second, following distance, which right now I do not have. But anyways, it's also got a PeopleNet electronic logging device that also contains my navigation, messaging system, pretty much everything for work. It's a Detroit diesel DD15 paired to a Eaton Fuller 10-speed gearbox, which means 10 forward gears, technically 2 reverse, but you only ever use 1. Things that JB Hunt has installed on the truck, which the PeopleNet they installed. I have a 1200 watt, it's either a 12 or a 1300 watt inverter that is mounted to the wall behind the passenger seat. Horrid place because my TV cable doesn't reach it. So I had to put another inverter in. Other factory, or not factory, things that JB Hunt has installed on the truck is a Holland in-cab fifth wheel release. I set my brake, my trailer brakes, I back up a little bit to take the pressure off the locking pin for the trailer. I set my parking brake, I put the truck in neutral, I release my brakes. My foot brake, not the parking brake. I pull that, and it'll uncouple the trailer. I don't have to get out of the truck. Well, I do have to get out of the truck to crank the landing gear down, but cranking the landing gear is the only thing that I actually have to do other than disconnecting my airlines. And yes, you are seeing a sword here. It was a pimple, I popped it, and there's still more in there somewhere. It's just not up. But But anyways, on top of that, I have, and you guys have seen me shove something in almost every video. I'm shoving my CB back into the hole because the previous driver, who I actually ended up acquiring the refrigerator that I have from, which is on the passenger seat, I guess he couldn't get his CB to come out of the bracket, so he just kept the bracket. So it comes out. I don't have a bracket yet. I've been trying to find a totaled freightliner at JB Hunt that I can get into and get that bracket, because that is a freightliner only bracket. It literally eliminates a sunglasses storage position, but that's what I got my sunglasses clip up here for. Things that I have installed. Obviously, CB. What else? My 400 watt inverter that's in the cubby hole up here, which literally only powers my TV. That is all that is ever used for. What else have I installed? Oh, not really a big installation, but in previous videos you've heard me talk about my steering wheel knob. I'm currently not using that. It is in the sleeper. The reason why I'm not using it is because this is an old truck, so the acidity of every driver that's ever driven this truck's sweat has started to disintegrate the coating, the grippy coating that they put on the steering wheel. So I bought a $32 steering wheel cover. And a little more about the truck. It's a 101 or something along those lines. It's the biggest non-modified sleeper that Freightliner has. When I say non-modified, I mean they haven't cut the sleeper off and put a California condo sleeper on the back. So I have the biggest one of those. Then I have a 32-inch flat screen. I had a 22, but I got it for free. It was actually given to me by a JB Hunt shop foreman because the driver had left it in the truck when he got fired. Or quit. I don't know what. Or, well, no, he hadn't quit. It was a trade truck. His truck had hit 500,000 miles. The warranty was gone. And they trade the truck to a lease company, where that driver could then go and buy his truck back. Well, he didn't buy his truck back, he just stayed company. And the screen has gone black again because I'm in another tunnel. But anyways. But, the shop foreman had been using it as his computer monitor. But, it had a green line down the center of the screen. And it was driving him nuts, so he's like, yeah, if a driver wants it or needs it, I'll just give it to the driver. And they, usually, it's free, we're not going to complain. Well, I'd had the TV for about 3 days, and that green line went away. I don't know what I did, but it went away. So, but I had that TV from December of 2015, or no, 14. Was it 15? No, it was 15. From that December 6th to be exact, because that was my second B service on that truck. Until before my vacation when I was in Finland, like 2 weeks before I went on vacation, it just stopped turning on altogether. So I went and bought the 32-inch because it was cheaper than going out and buying a brand new 22. And it was the smallest TV I could find at the pawn shop. Before taxes, it was $75, and then, you got taxes and everything else. Because I was right there, I bought an extended warranty on the TV, which was another $5, which only put a warranty on the TV for 30 days. But, I wanted to make sure if I was right there in Finley, and that TV blew up, or this TV blew up, that I was covered. I could just go back and go, hey, it stopped turning on or whatever, get another one. 42-inch TV, and obviously I've got the little refrigerator over here, which is currently not in use because I haven't had the money to stock the refrigerator yet. And on top of that, I haven't cleaned it since I put it back in the truck, since before I went on vacation. So she needs to get scrubbed down, let air out, all that. And then I need to plug it in, stock it, which actually, this refrigerator is actually either going to get a smile or be given away or something. If you want it, let me know in the comments. Or figure out a way to send me a private message. Well, all of my social stuff that I do currently have, I do not have Facebook. I will not have Facebook. I don't like it. I'm sorry for you Facebook people, but I personally do not like it. It caused a lot of drama between me and Lauren in the early stage of our relationship, and I just don't want it. It was just something that I was using to communicate with old Navy buddies when I moved back to Ohio, and we all fell out of communication. I don't use the fucking thing. Pardon my language again. But anyways, I don't use it, so I don't need it. And I probably won't. And if I do end up with a Facebook for the channel, guess what? Lauren's going to be running it because I'm going to want nothing to do with it. I've had so many bad experiences with stuff off of Facebook that I don't want it. But, my Instagram and my Twitter are in the description down below. So, message me on one of them if, you want it. And I will figure out a way of getting it to you. Likely it'll be a request to load into your area because I'm not paying for shipping. Now, if you're out on the West Coast and you want it, I'm sorry, you're SOL. I will not drive out there. But statewide, California, Oregon, and Washington State, 55 mile an hour for trucks. No. I won't do it. And I don't even think JB Hunt runs out that far. But, no, if you want this little refrigerator, because I have a bigger one that I'm putting in the truck. I've had it since 2010. It's reliable. It works great. It's a Black & Decker. It's a 3.7 cubic foot. So it's bigger than this one, which is important for me because I can put more food in it. But, no, that's coming into the truck, and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this little one. But then, and I don't know if you've seen it in previous videos, but I have a Igloo ice cube cooler in my truck as well. And you may be thinking, well, that's for food. No. I do not use that for food. I never will because I can't remember to buy ice. That is my dirty clothes basket. And you're probably thinking, well, if you have a refrigerator and it's stocked full of food, how do you cook it? Thanks to my mom, I have a toaster oven, an electric skillet, and a George Foreman. I currently have her on the search for a crock pot for me, something just big enough for me to throw a 2-pound roast in and make roast beef. Because a 2-pound roast will last me 2 days, minimum. Or if it's one of those days where I'm really, 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 really hungry, it won't even last me a day. Which is why usually, if I'm going to do a roast, I will actually cook it the night before. Like, I will cook it, put it in the crock pot, and then I will go to bed. So that when I wake up, it's cooked. I can take it out of the crock pot. I can cut it up into slices, chunks, whatever I want to do. I can put it into bowls, and I can put it in the refrigerator so I can't smell it. Because if I smell it while I'm driving, I'm hungry all day, and I'm eating all day. And then when I stop that night, I eat the whole 2-pound roast. I've learned that the hard way. I also have, it's right down here on the floor. I need to put it in one of the cupboards to get it off the floor. It is a little, I guess you would say 2-quart, 12-volt oven. Gets to 350 degrees. Works great. I've cooked a roast in it before. I've cooked ramen noodles in it. you know, I've cooked a bunch of stuff since because I bought that little oven when I worked at Swift. That's how long I've had that thing. But and you guys might be questioning, you know, wondering as well, how many people can the truck fit? Well, it can fit 2. As long as those 2 are a couple. Team driving, never going to happen in this truck. It's a single bunk. I've done team driving. Bad experience on that. Won't do it. If I ever buy a double bunk again, it will literally be because I want to have Lauren and Georgia on the truck with me at the same time. And need the second bunk. Or, quite frankly, me, because Georgia's too young to not roll out of bed, so she would have to sleep on the bottom bunk with Lauren. Which isn't a big deal. Or I can do what I've always done when I have a really bad night sleeping. Shove the cooler up between the seats. Turn that into a bed because I don't get a good night's sleep on that. I sleep light because I'm uncomfortable. And I wake up to my alarm as soon as it goes off. And it works. Surprisingly well. But, it's just one of those things where it works. Other things that I have on the truck, well, obviously I have my Xbox One. What else do I have on the truck? Oh, I got a bunch of DVDs, a few games. And yes, you're probably thinking, well, you're saying all this stuff and people will try to break into your truck. Good luck. Because that is one thing I hear open when I'm asleep. You open that door, I'm gonna hear it. You're gonna get a 3-pound sledgehammer in the face. But what else do I have on the truck? Oh, I have a 13-gallon trash can. Gotta have a trash can on a truck. A 13-gallon bag, or a 13-gallon can, I will fill that up in about 2 days. I'll be honest, I go through that much stuff. But, anyways, I think that's about everything. Well, actually, no, because I didn't even really review the truck. I just told you what all it has. But, no, on top of everything that it has, it's a great little truck. I mean, she runs great. She drives pretty straight. I mean, you know, she's got some alignment issues due to the fact that she was wrecked before I got her. And, you know, I mean, she rides comfortable. I've adjusted everything because I've adjusted the suspension personally to me simply because of the matter is, well, the smoothest riding truck I've ever been in was my 2013 Volvo, aka Lucky. And, I mean, Lucky rode so smooth. I mean, and I still got some adjustments to do. I mean, the front suspension will never be as soft as the Volvos. I will admit that openly. But the rear will be. Excuse me again. So what I've done is I have adjusted the rear suspension on everything, on the cab and the truck's actual suspension itself. I've softened the airbags on between the truck, or the frame and the axle, the truck's suspension. I've softened that up to absorb a little bit more of the bumps. And this is where you're probably going to get confused, because I hardened the cab's suspension. Because it's on air ride as well. The cab is air ride. Good Lord, I am tired. Actually, it's not that I'm tired, it's because of lack of oxygen to the brain, because I'm talking a lot. But, no, I've stiffened that up, and you're probably thinking, well, softening the truck suspension and stiffening the cabs is going to make the ride, or the adjustments pretty much cancel themselves out. No, because A, I didn't stiffen the cab suspension enough to counteract the softness of the truck. Because everything, or both adjustments are, like, if you look at a wrestling ring where it's got the adjustment to tighten the ropes, it's got those on it. Where it's, you know, reverse threaded, so you turn it one way and it'll adjust everything, or it'll tighten everything up. Or if you turn it the other way, it'll loosen and stretch it. Well, see, what I've done is I've stretched it to make it so that there's less likelihood of the cab losing its air pressure, because when it's tight or shortened, it actually will increase air pressure. Or no, it'll decrease air pressure when it's tightened. So the cab has a better chance of slamming down onto its bump stops, which, believe me, will compress your spine. So I've lengthened them. The adjustment I did was the opposite of the suspension, so that way it would actually shove more air in and make it stiffer. Which I think would actually be shortening. No, loosening, lengthening, because it's going to push it down to where it's actually requiring air to lift the cab back up. I had to think. And then on the truck, I've shortened the rod a good bit to soften up the truck suspension. Well, the problem with that is I over softened it. So if I go anything over 40,000 pounds, the truck walks all over the road, and I can't even touch my phone to put music on, because I'm literally white knuckling keeping it in the lane. Right now I'm about 40,000 pounds, so it's not all over. It's a little loose, but it's not to the point where I have to be both hands on the wheels and don't do anything. But no, I mean, I've softened the rear to make that like as much like a Volvo as I could. The front, I will never get that there, but you know, it's not a big deal. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the review on Libbie, and you want to see me, and I will be doing a review on my own car once I get it running, and I'm going to talk to Lauren's parents and grandparents to see if I can do reviews on their cars as well. Because a lot of what, and you're probably thinking, well, if you're going to do car reviews, that's ripping David Patterson off. No, because a lot of what he does, or what I've seen of his car reviews, are cars that have been modified a little bit. They've had work done to them. The cars that I'm going to be reviewing are bone stock, mostly. I can't say the Rodeo's bone stock because of the fact of the matter is I've upgraded the exhaust to shut it up, and I need to move lanes to shut that up. But you're probably thinking, well, if you're shutting it up, how are you doing an upgrade? Well, in Maryland, you have to pass emissions and an inspection, and in that inspection, your vehicle has to be below a certain decibel level, and a 3-inch straight pipe on a V6 doesn't pass that level, or it doesn't stay under that level. So, you know, I had to upgrade, which I'm not putting 3-inch back on it. Hell no, am I putting that back on. But no, once I get that legal, I got a few more things I got to do for it to pass inspection. I'll do a review on the Rodeo, I'll see if I can do a review on Lauren's mom's truck, all 3 of Lauren's stepdad's vehicles, and Lauren's grandparents' Highlander. Because I want to actually take her car out when I do the reviews. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more reviews just like it, don't forget to hit that like button. Tell me if you want, if you want me to do a review on your car. Maybe you're into your build and you're too far away from David Patterson for him to willingly drive to you, or that dude in blue if you don't know who David Patterson is. But and you can't afford to go to him. And it's one of those things where he's messaged you saying if you can get to the Atlanta area, I'll do it. Well, maybe you message him back and go, hey, this guy's willing to record the footage and I'll record the footage. I don't care. And I'll give him the footage if he wants it. But it's just easier for me to get to people because I'm all over the country. But anyways, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. I'm trying to get better with the daily videos. I do apologize. I've been very, very tired lately. But, stay tuned for more. Again, thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.